Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be breaking down a pig from head to toe. Okay, so what we have here is a whole pig. We got the trotters, we got a head, we've got everything. So we're going to go through and break down exactly where you want to cut, how you want to cut it off, and what goes into pulling this whole thing apart and what we can get out of an entire pig. So out of a pig, you can pretty much, there is an old saying that you can eat everything except for the oink, and that is completely true. You can eat the trotters, you can eat all the skin, you can eat the ears, you can eat the snout if you wanted to. But yeah, what we're gonna go through is how to break this down from the shoulder, how to take the head off, what we want to get out the loin, and how to take the legs apart. So first up, we're going to work our way from the top to tail. We want to take off the shoulders, but where do we take the shoulders away from? So a good indicator for when we're taking off the shoulders for the first time is turning it on the side so that we can see that there's almost a dip that runs into the shoulder blade. So it's the top of the shoulder blade, it dips in and it goes back out into the loin. So we're looking for that nice dip where it goes in here. To over accentuate it, it's going like this, where it curves straight back into here. At the base of that, just where it starts to dip in, that's our indicator that that's the end of the blade, and that's where we want to cut with a straight line all the way across, and it should line up with the base of the hock here. So, you know, if it's right, let's find out. So I'm putting a tub underneath just so it doesn't end up on the floor. I am going to catch it, but just as a safeguard precaution, we don't want to get the whole, get any sort of pork on the floor. So I'm just putting that there purely as a precaution. So what we can see is this small dip just here. So lining it up, have a nice strong wrist and a straight arm, and I'm not going to cut around, I'm actually just going to turn the pig. So essentially I'm cutting in a straight line in the same spot, and that should line up back to where we started. So once we got it all pre-marked, coming in with the saw, we want to cut from the top all the way through to the sternum. So from the spine to the sternum. So at this point, once it's broken open, using a butcher's hook, we can go in and grab the inside of one of those ribs just to catch it. Up onto the block. So that's our forequarter and our head. Next up, what we want to do is take the loin away from the legs. So with the legs, we can see as it starts to dip around, it's going to come in all the way in, and then it's going to start to curve back out slowly as it goes into the loin. So right at the base of that dip, that is where the legs finish. If we go in here, we can almost see it coming down into 2 points. It's almost coming straight down here. So there's two small dimples that we can feel into the back, which is our indicator that that's the base of the loin, and that's right at the end of the legs. Another way to find it is where we're gonna cut into what's called the pin. So coming on the inside here, if we have a look in, we can't really see much. But we can see our leg cavity on the inside here as it starts to join back up into the loin. So about there is where we want to break straight into the joint. So what we're feeling for here is we're going for a thumb's width away from this bottom meeting section in the cavity. So a thumb's width is going to be about here. With the tip of your knife, you want to break in and just feel around, because you're just stabbing into bone, you should feel a spot where it just starts to give, which is right there. That's the base of the joint. And that's into one of those intercostals. That's right in between the vertebrae there. So from there, we've got a nice and straight. We're gonna make our way all the way out. As soon as we can cut through, once we're on the outside of the bone, you're gonna feel it give. Cut all the way through. Same again on the other side. You can feel it start to give. It's no longer against the bone. We're gonna cut all the way around. So if we have a closer look, that's exactly what we're going for. This little white separation that's straight through the joint, that's right at the base of the legs, it's right at the start of the loin. That's our sweet spot, essentially. So turning it around, we want to line up. Again, same ways that we took off the shoulder, just essentially spinning the pig around and keeping a nice straight wrist and a straight knife until we're all the way around. Now, this is the tricky part. So to take away the loin from the legs, what we can do is either break it and catch it. I find that usually gives like this sudden jolt of weight. You've got to brace your core and brace your body to do it. I've had a back injury from it, so I find that this is probably the safest way to go from hanging on the rail straight onto the block. So the way that I found is the most safest, once we've hit that spot, is to actually come around, grabbing a hold of it, and it should just snap and break, and then we're going straight onto the bench. So coming around, I've got it by the body, I've got it by the top here, and we're going to break it and come straight onto the bench. So that's a good way, because so essentially all we're doing is got it all here, we're standing up straight, coming straight onto the bench, as opposed to breaking here, getting all that weight, and then going up to another level. So once we've got the pig broken down, the next part is, if yours do come with the head, is taking this one away. But where do you start? The indicator is at the base of the ears, right at the top of that lump, and essentially all the way around into the cheek. So the pig's sitting nice and straight. Where we want to cut is right at the base of the ears here and all the way through. So if we come through and cut, have a good line up here, right behind the ears, and all the way around. We should come across the atlas and the axis. Which is right there, which is a nice clean break. So we've separated that perfectly, the joint, the atlas and the axis, from the head, from the shoulders. So that was just the basics of how to break down the pig, from the legs, to the loin, the shoulder and the head. And there's so many uses, and it's such a versatile protein. So something such as just the shoulders, there's a multitude of cuts and uses just out of this. That's why I love pork so much, because you literally can eat everything except for the oink. So let me know what you'd like to see next, whether you want to make salami out of the shoulder, make a copper, or how to take the scotch away, or how to roll a shoulder, how to split the loin, maybe even make a porchetta or something like that. But yeah, let me know in the comment section. We're going to start a series in the next couple of videos on what goes into pork butchery and what we can get away from it. So making it for you. Let me know what you want to see. Until next time.